OMG's, boys, girls, in-betweeners. I am here with Nairman, who is a established luminary of Dragon Ball FighterZ. He's a repository of information. He doesn't really play the game very much, but I'm here because I want to rant angry about this game, and you've decided to join me.
Yeah, because why the hell not?
Okay, so for people who are not aware, Red Bull Final Summoning, I think it's still going on as we speak, isn't it? I think it hasn't even ended yet.
Yes, the Bandai Namco European YouTube accidentally posted the Season 2 DLC trailer before the tournament ended.
So good job, Capcom. You're not alone anymore, because Bandai Namco can fuck up as well.
I mean, they fucked up earlier, so...
So yeah, good job. You both posted your trailers. How hard is it to post a trailer on time? Apparently, it's much harder than we thought. So... Dragon Ball FighterZ for me is a game that I actually really want to like, because I'm a Dragon Ball fan. I've loved Dragon Ball for a long, long time. Having said that, I've never watched the original series. I've only watched Z onwards, but just ignore that. So that's the thing. I really want to like the game, but one of the biggest problems that I have with the game is its roster, because you've got a whole bunch of Goku clones in there. You got a whole, there's like what, 5, 6 Goku clones at this point?
Something like that, yeah, because we have Super Saiyan, Blue, Base, Vegito.
Yeah, we got Dad Goku.
Yeah, we have Dad Goku, who's 2 Gokus.
Yeah, so that's...
according to the dunking chart.
Exactly, so there's already too many fucking Gokus in this game, and so, as you probably gleaned from the title of this video when I post it, there are we already have Vegito in the game. We already have Broly in the game. And Season 2 comes out, and you're thinking to yourself, like, at least if you're me, and if you are, God help you, because I don't want to be me, but if you are, you're thinking to yourself, I really hope that Season 2 has some interesting characters in it, because the base line of characters, there's a lot of characters in that game that, in my opinion, are pretty uninspired. They're just not really that interesting. And we got Jiren, which was a given. We already knew it was going to be Jiren. They confirmed that about a week ago or something like that. So that's fine, whatever. Jiren's just fucking boring. I mean, am I going too far saying that? Jiren's just an incredibly boring character?
Oh no, the vast majority of people think he's incredibly boring, and I get the pick, I understand it, I'm not thrilled about it, but I understand it.
Yeah, because he's technically like the strongest character in the universe when Goku's not doing his Ultra Instinct thing. Yeah,
and to be a smidge fair to Season 1, Base Goku and Vegeta, as boring as they are, I imagine also came down to a time and development cost thing.
Okay, fair enough.
All this stuff was probably being worked on, right when the game was coming out. So, hey, we can reuse all these animations and assets to make some characters. Fine, I get it. Right. I'm not pleased, but I understand it. Now that you're over a year, by the time these come out, you're over a year out from the release. Let's get some more unique, interesting favorite characters in here that aren't Goku and Vegeta.
Exactly. So let's get some vaginas in this game, because God knows there aren't too many of those. There's 2 of them in the game so far, and that's probably too many for some people's taste, but there's only 2 female characters in the whole game. And so you think to yourself, like, I mean, to be fair, again, Dragon Ball has a very limited pool of female characters to draw from. It's pretty much a sausage fest for the every season of the show is basically just dudes fighting and there's no chicks in there. That said, the 2 most obvious picks wanted to add more female characters to the game would be Cauliflower and Kale from Dragon Ball Super, because they have 2 new Saiyans, they have decent power levels, they've proven they can fight, and who do we get as the next female fighter?
Videl!
Yeah! She had 1 fight and she got bodied.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy that she's at least a different character than another Goku and Vegeta, so that's something.
Oh my god.
To be fair, in terms of canon of the universe, she could probably beat Yamcha.
But she makes Pan, which is like 1/4 Goku, right? If you do the maths on that.
Yeah. I mean, even as far as girl characters go, even using GT Pan would have worked.
Oh my god, but they don't. I mean, that's the thing. Is like, there's no GT characters in this, which I still find actually kind of interesting, because like GT is not canon, that's fine. But they've got Cooler in the game, he's not canon. They got Broly in the game, he's not canon. So
that's getting into a different part of this DLC altogether. But let's
let's talk about the two upcoming characters later. All right, Videl. So we know about Jiren, we don't care about Jiren. Jiren's fine. Videl. Like I said, she had 1 fight in the whole series. She got completely destroyed. The only things she's good beating up is regular people who have like a power level of 9. Wasn't that like Farm with a Shotgun had a power level of 9?
Something like that. The shotgun was probably 8 of the 9 power points.
Right, so at a power level of 1, with my shotgun, so that's like the only thing she's good at beating up, and now suddenly we're expected to believe that she's able to roll with like Super Saiyan God, Goku, and all that kind of horse shit.
I mean, it's a fighting game. There's always kind of that suspension of disbelief when you get to these things. Like, even with Happy Pills, would Batman really be able to beat Superman in a straight-up fight? Probably no.
Alright, the thing is, it seems like such a baffling choice to me to go Pan, and especially because, like, yeah, I get that, like, if you watch the trailer, the trailer has been leaked at this point, and I've downloaded it, but I don't know if I'm actually going to use it as B-roll for this video because I don't want to dance with the copyright devil in the pale moonlight. So it may be playing in the background as we talk, it may not be. If not, I'm gonna, oh my god, that's my PC going off because I have notifications turned on. Thank you. I will have pictures going up of these characters and whatnot, so you can see what they are anyway, but we may or may not have video. But that aside, Pan, it just seems like such a baffling choice when you do have
Videl.
Other better, sorry, Videl, yes. Videl, she's made me so angry, I'm confusing her with Pan. It seems like such a baffling choice, especially when, like, you have the gimmick of she brings in Gohan to fight for her as Super Saiyan Man. So it's, you know, it's funny. There's good animations for it. They've got that Evangelion kick when they team up, but it's such a bad choice for a character.
Compared to Caulifla and Kale, I would agree.
Even
compared to other choices they could do, I don't think it's the worst choice they could have done. It's just kind of a meh choice in terms of the roster.
Okay, well, let's be real. Mr. Satan would be the worst choice they could ever make for a character, and we can't rule him out yet. But that would be the worst one. But I mean, if you take that out of the equation, what would be a worse choice for a character than Pan? Sorry, Videl. Jesus Christ.
I know you don't watch Dragon Ball, but the female fighter in the first world tournament whose superpower was taking her clothes off just to, you know, distract the guys who she was fighting.
Are you kidding me? That's the opposite of a bad choice. Jesus. Put her in the game.
Yeah, that was still Toriyama being Toriyama as far as Dragon Ball was concerned. Fair enough. Alright, so, I mean, I don't really have much else to say. Like, yes, she looks good. Yes, I do like, you know, the comedy value of some of the animations of Gohan coming in and doing his thing and doing his Saiyamans and whatnot. But I don't know, as a Dragon Ball fan, I can't get past the idea that she is such an incredibly weak character, and we're expected to just be like, yeah, she can beat up Goku, that's fine. Compared to what we'll be getting to later, it still seems like a more tolerable choice compared to what we're also getting.
So you seem to be fairly ambivalent about Videl, is that correct? You're not angry or you're not for Videl, you're just kind of like, okay, she's there.
Compared to the 4 we know, she's probably the most interesting in terms of just gameplay.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Alright, so let's get off Videl. We talked about Jiren, we've talked about Videl, let's talk about Movie Broly and Movie Gogeta being in the game. What are your thoughts?
We already have Broly in the game. Make it a costume, slap it on his model there, you're done.
Just as a quick aside, I just saw the Broly movie 2 days ago, and I really liked it, actually. I thought it was actually I actually think it's the best Dragon Ball movie pretty much to date. Which is not really that's not really a high bar to cross, honestly, but I still think it's really good.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. He doesn't need to be his own separate character for
He doesn't need to be his own separate character, but I just want to ask, is the guy who voices Broly in the new movie the same as the old one, Edward Elric, that guy? Because it sounded like him.
Yeah, it's still Vic Mignogna.
Okay, good, yeah, I thought it was, but anyway, that's that aside. We already have Broly in the game. We already have several Gokus in the game. Why do we need more?
And we're only getting Blue Gogeta in just so we can get Stardust Crusher, which is one move.
Which is one move, and so have you, like, he wasn't in the trailer, so how do you know what his moveset is, out of curiosity?
I'm just assuming one of his supers is going to be Stardust Crusher.
Okay, so like you don't actually know. Okay.
I'm just going to assume one of his supers, probably Super 3, is going to be Stardust Crusher, but that's like, okay, you're going to put Blue Gogeta in for one move.
And that's a fair assumption to make, and I found it very interesting that without spoiling things too much. I mean, if you haven't seen the movie yet, we're not going to try and spoil it for you. But Stardust Crusher was the move that you used against Janemba in movie 9. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Okay. Just so people are trying to reference that.
The one that finished Janemba and the one that really just fucking tanked.
Yes, that's right. Correct. All right. So let's stay out of spoiler territory for the movie for people who haven't seen it yet. I just like I like Gogeta's design. I think Gogeta looks much better in the fusion uniform than he does as Vegeta with the fused clothing that he gets in that design. So I'm actually quite happy that they do have that look for Gogeta. But we don't need a character slot for that. We don't need another mirror character. I find it bizarre and frankly confusing that Bandai Namco know that it's a meme at this point of how many fucking Gokus are in this game. And they've clearly decided to embrace it rather than actually do anything about it.
Yeah, that's kind of the most annoying factor about it. It's like, you know, movie Broly could easily just be a costume. We don't need Gogeta. You could honestly just, you know, character moves aside, you could have also just easily made him a Vegito costume.
That's kind of the point. Is this game has no costumes. They just had extra character slots for alternate costumes at this point. It's really very confusing, and it's really frustrating because obviously we can't be the only Dragon Ball fans out there who want to see new characters in the game, who want their favorites or, you know, characters that they feel like really deserve to be in this game. And instead, Bandai Namco keep giving slots to basically what are Echo Fighters at this point?
Yeah, basically. I mean, just even within the Tournament of Power, you could have used, you know, 6 characters from that. To fill this list. And
the Tournament of Power was terrible, and that still wouldn't be, I mean, it wouldn't be as egregious. I don't hate the fact that Movie Broly is going to be in the game. I don't hate the fact that Gogeta is going to be in the game. But it makes me mad that these are character slots that are being essentially wasted at this point.
Yeah, if we were at, like, Season 5 and we're just scraping the pure bottom of the barrel here, fine, whatever, but...
Yeah. Alright, I suppose the question is that, like, how much of this is going to be Toei's influence at this point? Like, how much is Toei basically leaning on Bandai Namco saying, like, you know, we got a movie that's out right now, we want asses in seats, what's it going to take to get these 2 characters in the game?
I have no idea. This is particularly weird because, you know, they just made a big deal. I mean, I think they were out in Japan already, but a big deal of, you know, Xenoverse 2 DLC, Movie Broly and Gogeta are in there. It's like, yeah, that makes more sense there because every character's in that game. Exactly. But the thing is, I suppose the question is that, like, there's been a problem, and you know about this, that the Dragon Ball FighterZ tournaments have been being cancelled lately, that people have not been able to get a reason why. That there have been at least 2 majors that I know of where the Dragon Ball Z portion of things was just straight up cancelled and the event organizers were not allowed to say why. A lot of people speculated that it was Toei causing this, basically saying that they were violating copyright or whatever and they didn't want them running tournaments. Toei then stepped up and said, this is not us doing that. So that only leaves basically Shueisha at this point being the best guess culprit for that sort of thing. And I'm wondering if that's sort of that power play that's going on there, if that is true, is what we're seeing here as well. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, no side is ever going to admit it. But this screams a publisher, these characters are going in, you don't have a say in the matter.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they're obviously, I would suspect there is a very strong part of that being the case. Because it just wouldn't make sense for it not to be at this point. You know, we know for a fact that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite basically got screwed because Disney was like, this game has to be out by this point to be able to endorse Avengers. That's coming out.
You can't use mutants.
You can't use mutants. You gotta use all these characters in the game. And that was what fucked the game over royally. So we could be seeing that again as well. So I'm not necessarily blaming Bandai Namco Bandai. I always get the letters confused in that.
I just call it Bamco at this point.
Yeah, Bamco's good. I'm not blaming Bamco necessarily. It just makes, but it doesn't stop me from being upset when I see it.
Yeah. So we have 2 characters that really have no business being in there. The most boring character in the entire franchise, and Videl. And we still have 2 slots left, which they have not revealed, and probably won't for a little while because they would just, you know, be hype building to do that, obviously, and just is the smartest play. So there is still room. At this point, my money is on Ultra Instinct Goku and Super Blue Vegeta.
That honestly would not surprise me at this point. Like, the sad part is, like, I'm not even being ironic. It's like, that really would not surprise me at this point.
Yeah.
It could be, if we wanted to be optimistic about it, we could say those 2 slots could be Cauliflower and Kale. Or Cauliflower and Kale. So, yeah. Because, you know, 2 slots left, and, like, the game still, even with Videl, that's only a total of 3 vaginas in the whole game. So, you know, they could be saving those for 2 female characters. So there is that possibility. That would be my other guess. But sadly, the guesses that I make are usually common sense ones, and people don't like those when they're designing games. So that it's probably more likely that you're correct, because Ultra Instinct Goku, who doesn't want to play as that?
Yeah, it just feels really disappointing at this point.
It is, yeah. It's
like after the whole Evo stuff, the game kind of tapered off in popularity, as far as I could tell, kind of on the online scene. I mean, tournaments are still a big deal overall, but it never quite hit that high again. People got focused on other things.
Yeah.
And then their big response to the whole, we're going to cancel tournaments. We're going to be really hands-on with, how this game is going to be handled. We're not going to let other tournaments do this thing, is to make a very disappointing Season 2 roster, as far as we can tell.
Yeah. I think that, you are correct, that the popularity definitely did taper off some. It's not by any means low popularity, but it definitely does not have the same viewership that it had once, especially when the game came out, because every man and his dog jumped on that, because I honestly don't know why, but it was very popular on Twitch for a little while. So it's just, it's confusing and it's disappointing, because they just seem to be really making a lot of really bad choices for the roster, as far as I'm concerned. And like Cooler, for example, in the last character from last season, Cooler. I mean, who gives a fuck about Cooler, honestly? Yeah,
he was in 2 very meh movies.
I wouldn't say that. Like, the first one was Cooler's Revenge wasn't bad, but still, it's just really confusing, baffling choices, and it just disappoints me, because I want to create a team for the game that I think is just fucking badass, man. That's just really fucking cool, and I just can't do that right now, because the characters I want out there.
Goku on the team.
I have Goku Black on my team, and that's voluntarily, because I like him. That's a different story. So yeah, that's it for me. I don't really have much else to say. Have you got any other final thoughts on this one, Dan?
No, I just really hope the last 2 are something worthwhile, or else Season 2 pass will kind of feel like a complete waste of money.
Pretty much. So yeah, wish list, we would have Cauliflower and Kale as the last 2 characters. In all reality, it's probably going to be Super Saiyan, Super Blue Vegeta, and Ultra Instinct Goku. That's probably
those would be my bets at this point.
Those are really fucking safe bets as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, sadly.
Sadly, yes. Alright, so that's it from us, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments below about this. Let us know if you think that it's worthwhile having extra character slots for these characters. Maybe you think it's completely justified because the movie's coming out, or maybe you agree with us. Maybe you've got better suggestions for characters. I don't know. Let us know below. In the meantime, kisses, hugs, belly rubs. We will see all of you very soon.